Today, on Be Something Wonderful, you are living in the end, but still no movement? A must-watch. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. Big video today. I want to talk about this client that I had a session with yesterday afternoon, later in the afternoon. And it's interesting because in her comments, there's always a few words that they say when they schedule the session about what they want to talk about. And she even said it that, my comments and my questions have changed since I scheduled the session, especially after the last few videos, but really the last couple weeks of videos. Because here was her question, and it's a question that many of you have in sessions and on the channel, and I'm going to answer this. I've been in the end not reacting to conditions, but it's been 4 months now, still no movement. Something must be wrong. This whole idea, right, that you're saying that you're in the end, that you're in wish fulfilled, that you're, quote, doing all the right things, right, following all the commands of the law, but nothing is happening. But again, when you say that, remember, you're creating that reality when? Right now. And you're not only in the present moment, you're not only changing the present and the future, you're changing the past. You're creating a reality where it's been 4 months. You're creating a reality where there's been no movement. There's only now. Remember, we talked about that idea that in the present moment, you create everything, past, present, and future. So you're creating these conditions, more conditions to fulfillment, saying living in the end is a condition to fulfillment. And after I do that, I'll have it, right? Remember, make the end is the end. It's the beginning, it's the means, and it's the end. It's not merely a means to an end, it is the end, right? When you're not living in the end, you are reacting to the conditions of time and no movement. That's what she discovered. This came out from her. When you're not living in the end, you're reacting to the conditions of time and no movement. She discovered that she is reacting. She's reacting that it hasn't moved, that there's no movement, that it's been 4 months. Do you see it? When you assume and announce that something must be wrong, then you create the experience of a reality where something must be wrong. When you declare and assume that there's no movement, you create an experience of reality, of that ultimate reality, where there's no movement. Wow, that's powerful. Remember, living in the end and accepting and assuming your wish is fulfilled already, no matter what, is not a means to an end. In other words, it's not a condition to fulfillment. It is the end. It's all of it. It's the beginning, it's the middle, and the end. It's all of it. I am that I am, no matter what. That's my one and only true story. Before Abraham, before time, before conditions, before space, before the 4 months, right? Before no movement, I am. And this is what Neville Goddard says. As the end is accepted, you become totally indifferent as to the possible failure. For acceptance of the end wills the means to that end. And furthermore, it's everything. It's the beginning, the means, and the end. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and last. Very powerful. That's what that all means. Remember, living in the end, assumption of your wish fulfilled, feeling of the conviction of gratitude, and I am that. It's the beginning and the end. It's not the means to an end. It's the beginning, the means, and the end. It's all of it is the end, right? Don't make I aming just another condition to be met or a means to your end. Someone asked me when I said, you can't I am your way there. This was a subscriber comment on the channel. And what I didn't mean that, I'm not talking about the vertical, understanding that you are that reality already. I'm saying that efforting, trying to I am your way there means you're just putting another condition. You're making I am another condition to fulfillment, another means to be, something else to be met, or a means to that end. Where I am is the end. It's the beginning, it's the middle, it's the end. It's the only reality. This is really like the older son in the story of the prodigal. If you remember that the younger son went off and squandered the inheritance, the spiritual inheritance of God, of the Father, right? On inappropriate living, right? Right? Spending it on prostitutes and all this, as Scripture says, right? So what's the story here? And then the older son, of course, gets jealous because the younger son returns from squandering his inheritance, right? Comes back and decides that, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with that identity. I'm done with that reality of believing that I'm limited, believing that I'm small, believing that I'm not one with God. I'm not one with my reality. I'm not my wish fulfilled. I'm not in my end. And it's the younger son deciding to saying, I'm done with that. Just like some of the clients that I've been talking about. That anomalous burst of energy. I'm done with that old reality. I'm now this new identity. I'm now in this new reality. That's what the younger son represents here. The older son represents that part of you. Just like this client that I've been living in the end for 4 months. I've been in my wish fulfilled. But I can't help but notice how you justify your limiting beliefs. I can't help but notice that time's gone by and there's been no movement. Remember, you create that reality right now. That's the older son saying, look, for so many years, in this case, months, I've been serving you. And I've never neglected a command. For 4 months, I've been living in the end, and I haven't neglected it, right? But still, and you've never given me a young goat so that I might celebrate with my friends. This is the older son, because the father threw a party for the younger son. In other words, this is you saying, but I've been living in the end, but I don't have my stuff. I don't have my reality. What's going on? I can't celebrate anything. It's not here yet. Do you see it? You're like the older son there saying, I've followed the commands. I've done it, right? But you're not living in that eternal moment of now where it's already done. You keep looking out there, right? So, and then he goes on to say, the older son, but when this son of yours, the younger son, came who has devoured your wealth with prostitutes, you killed the fattened calf for him. So what did the younger son do? This younger son returns. Remember, that's what some of these clients said, I'm done with that old identity. I'm done with that old reality. I'm rising in consciousness to that new identity. I'm rising to that assumed end. I'm in that assumed end no matter what. I'm not counting the months. I'm not counting the hours. I'm not looking at no movement. I am the movement. I am time. I am space. I'm all of it. I am that I am no matter what. I'm done with this old identity. That's what the young son did. Right? And the older son jealous. And then what does the father say to the older son? Son, you've always been with me, and all that I have is yours. It's all yours anyway. Do you see it? But if you keep looking out there and declaring it's not, declaring that nothing's moved, declaring that 4 months go by, you create that reality in the moment. Remember, we talked about that idea that in the present moment, you create all realities. So how do you even know when you go out there and say nothing's moved and it's been 4 months, how do you know that? You've created that in this now moment. You created that past of 4 months right now, right in that moment. As soon as you said it, you created that 4 months of no movement. Do you see it? You create that now. So everything is created now. So when you look out, how do you even know that 4 months went by? You don't. Because that path, you created that new past of 4 months. Wow, that's powerful. Do you see here? Look at, here's the physical you, right? In that frame of reality that feels so real, that feels like time is going by, that there's no movement, right? And just like, and remember, and here's the old, like, and so, but you're imagining your wish fulfilled. You're here in the mental realm, right? Imagining it, right? You're imagining that wish fulfilled. Remember, this is the past, present, and future. Here you are, though, on the horizontal experience, that linear experience, imagining it, right? You're in the mental realm, you're imagining it. This is like the older son, imagining it right here, but you're not in the kingdom, right? You're not saying, I am that I am. Instead, you're still creating or imagining that time goes by, that I will get it. I'm imagining my wish fulfilled. I'm feeling it real, but I'm still looking at the linear time going by. I'm still looking at the conditions around me. I'm still having thoughts and feelings in that mental realm that it's taking time, that there's no movement. You see, you're not here in the kingdom, right? This is ultimate reality. All of it is. But these are that's your physical experience, that's your mental experience, and this is who you really are, all of it. Right? I am that I am. That's the beingness, that's the conviction. That's the love and gratitude, that's the fulfillment. That's the true feeling of wish fulfilled. It's a state of being versus a temporary thought and feeling. That's the difference. Some of you were asking about that yesterday. How can you say thoughts and feelings don't matter? The temporary thoughts and feelings are always changing. They're not reality. But what is reality? When we talk about emotion or states of being, love, gratitude, and that feeling of fulfillment is a state of being. That's the conviction that never changes with I am. It's a permanent state of bliss, of fulfillment. That's what we're talking about. That's the state of wish fulfilled. We'll talk about this in a little bit more. Right? Temporary thoughts and feelings of fulfillment. That's the mental plane always changing, where you're feeling hot and cold or up and down. You're in the reality, you're not in the reality. You're in fulfillment, you're not in fulfillment. They are not reality. Right? They're your assumptions. Right? They reveal your assumptions about reality, what you believe is real. Right? That's what they do, those temporary thoughts and feelings. They're revealing what you're assuming or believing at the moment. Right? That, it's not, months have gone by, time's gone by, there's no movement. But when you assume you are not yet who and what you desire to be, it feels negative. You feel disconnected and separate from what you desire. Do you see it? That's always the case. When you assume you are that, I am that, it feels positive. Right? But so stop efforting and trying to be connected with what you love and just be connected to love. Do you see it? So when you feel connected to what you love, you feel positive. When you don't, you feel negative. But stop trying to be connected and know you are. Stop efforting and trying to be connected with what you love and just be connected to love. The love that you are. Acknowledge the awareness that you don't have to try in the mental realm to connect with what you love. You're already all of that love. Do you see the difference? Stop efforting and trying to be connected with what you love, because clearly when you're connected with what you love, you feel positive. Know that you are the positivity, that you are gratitude, that's who you are. Your source energy, that's your normal set point. That's your natural, not your normal set point, that's your natural set point. Your normal set point is something else, right? But that's natural to you, right? I am that I am no matter what. That's your state of being. So you don't have to try hard to be connected. You can just be it. Be connected to that love that you are. You're already there. That's powerful. The assumption of fulfillment and living and feeling fulfilled in the end is an announcement of reality. It's a state of awareness of I am source, there is no other. It's a state of being and the effect of that is the feeling of fulfillment. But that's your state of being, right? As source, I desire this experience, so be it. It's done no matter what. Temporary thoughts and feelings or conditions that despite it's done no matter what the temporary thoughts and feelings or temporary thoughts I'm feeling or the conditions I'm seeing. That's the difference, right? That's why we say temporary thoughts and feelings don't matter. It's done. You are gratitude. You are love. You are that fulfillment no matter what temporary thoughts you are feeling or conditions that you are seeing. That's big, right? I am greater than time. I'm greater than thoughts. I'm greater than feelings. I'm greater than any condition on the physical or mental planes of reality. I am that I am. Do you see it? You're greater than all of it. Than any physical condition or mental thought and feeling. You're here. You're all source. That's the recognition that you want to get to. That's big today. So remember, your desired end or reality or identity is created or drawn from source or the field of infinite potential here and now. It's created right now or it cannot exist at all, and non-existence is impossible. Your desired end, your desired reality, your desired identity is created from source. In other words, it's drawn from that field of infinite potential that you are one with, right? It's drawn here and now. And or it cannot exist at all, and non-existence is impossible. So saying that time's gone by makes no sense. If you can imagine or assume it, then it must exist. Or you would never even be able to imagine and assume it. And if it does exist, and it does because non-existence is impossible, it must exist in the here and now or not at all. So it's all here and now. That's why imagining and assuming your wish already fulfilled or living in the end, I am that, past, present, and future, is the principal requisite of consciously creating, manifesting, and perceiving your own experience of reality. That's what the whole reality creation is about. That's why every spiritual teacher talks about that. That's why imagining and assuming your wish already fulfilled, living in that end, saying that I am that, past, present, and future, is the principal requisite of consciously creating, manifesting, and perceiving your own reality, your experience of reality. Why? Because your desired reality is created from source right here and right now, or it couldn't exist at all, and non-existence is impossible. If you can imagine, assume it, that it must exist, so you would never be able to imagine, assume it. And if it does exist, it must exist here and now. That's why. That's the why we assume and imagine it right now, right? To put our light on it, to put our focus on it, to put our attention on that. So the only question then is, where are you? Where are you? Are you on that? Are you just stuck here on the horizontal, creating the past in the present moment, right? You create that 4 months that went by. You create that no movement right now. It didn't exist 1 month ago, or 2 months ago, or 3 months ago, or 4 months ago. That's just an idea. None of that exists. It exists here and now. The story you're telling. You create all of it. So where are you? Or are you just stuck in the mental realm as well, having thoughts and feelings about no movement? Right? Thoughts and feelings about it. Or are you here in the vertical? Right? Here I am all of it. I know who I am. I know where I am. Who are you and where are you? Here I am. That's why in Scripture, God calls out to Jacob and to Moses and to others. The Holy Spirit of God's calling out, where are you? And they all answer, here I am. Where are you? Answer, here I am that I am. That's what we're talking about. That's the only question is, where are you? Right? And in Scripture, remember, when Moses is looking at the burning bush and seeing that the bush isn't burning, very curious, God calls out, or the angel, or the representation of God, Moses, where are you, Moses? Right? Here I am. Then it said in Genesis 31:11, then the angel of God said to me in the dream, Jacob, and I said, here I am. And then in Genesis 22:1, Abraham, God calls out, Abraham. Abraham answers, here I am. God spoke and said in Genesis 46:2, Jacob, Jacob, and he said, here I am. Jacob answered, here I am. Do you see it? Then you will call, and the Lord, or the law, will answer, and you will cry, and he will say, here I am. Do you see it? I love this one in Isaiah, the law of being of the Lord. This shows you that you're one with it. There's no difference. You're Moses and God. You're both. You're asking yourself, where are you? You're I am, who you really are. The higher self's asking you. Then you will call, and the Lord, or the law, will answer. You will cry, and he will say, here I am. God's always answering, here I am. But God's asking you as well, that I am. Remember, it's a law of reciprocity. So God's asking you, you're asking God, where are you? And God's asking you, where are you? Here I am. You can both answer at the same time. That's alignment, right? That's what we're talking about. And so here's the real experience, right? This is all in the vertical of I am. And we're having an experience, a linear, horizontal experience of reality, where we have this past, present, and future, but all of those, if you notice, they're all dotted lines. They're all potential. Right now, they're all changing. Past, present, and future is always changing in this now moment with whatever you're assuming and believing, right? What are your assumptions? But as soon as you say it's been 4 months of living in the end with no movement, something is wrong, right? That memory then is created in the now moment, right? That you create that past, you solidify that past which was just potential is now solidified, where you create this idea or this reality that you're seeing that it's been 4 months and no movement. And you solidify the present moment where you're seeing that. You see it, all of this. That it's those ideas or reality are existing right now. It's all existing right now in potential. But you create it when you look back like that, right? That memory is created in the now moment. That new past that aligns with your assumptions right now. In the present moment, you create that past that aligns with your assumptions that you're assuming right now. So you collapse the wave of potential of probabilities right in the present moment. And you create that 4 months of no movement, and there's still no movement. Do you see that went from dotted line to potential to solid? You, in that moment, you are creating reality. You're still hopeful for the future. That's still that's still there, right? You can still now, in this now moment, focus on that and get and move back to that potential, right? How could you know, right? How could you even know that remember, how could you know that 4 months went by? How could you know that there's no movement, right? You don't know. You only know the past you just created. You're only remembering wrong from a past that you created with those assumptions right now. You don't know because that was all potential. How would you know? You're always creating all realities, past, present, future, right now. That's the whole idea of you remember it wrong. I remember it wrong, right? You don't know because you only remember the past that you just created. And you created that by saying, by declaring, by announcing that 4 months have gone by and there's no movement. That's just an idea. That's an assumption you're making right now. You're creating that past. Then how do you know that? And you're going to say, no, Tom, I remember last month. I remember the month before, but how do you know? What do you remember? You're only remembering a past that you just created. That's powerful, right? So what do you want to do? You want to be in the vertical. You want to stay in that vertical, right? Make the elsewhere here and the future now. That's what Neville said. Why? Because it already is and you already are. The wish is already fulfilled. The outcome's already secured. It's all done here and now. You can only create an experience where and when it is not. I am not yet. If it's all done here and now, then you can only create an experience of it not being there, of the where and when that it is not. You create an experience of where is it and when is it, right? I am is first cause. All other conditions in linear time are secondary causes. All other I am nots are secondary causes. There's just first cause, I am. Everything else is I am not, or secondary causes. So how do you do it? You do it by staying in that moment. That moment, and no matter what, declaring that you are in that. And then it must be. You are the only reality. You are living in the end, but still no movement. That's why this was a must-watch. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for liking and sharing and commenting on the videos. Thank you for being part of our Facebook group, the Be Something Wonderful Ambassadors, at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful, for joining us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, for joining us on TikTok. We just released a few great videos. Also, there's shorts now on YouTube, and we're going to have more coming. You can follow us on TikTok at Be Something Wonderful. Also, don't forget to check out our membership channel. And next Sunday, a week from tomorrow, we have our 7th live stream. That's going to be broadcast exclusively on the membership channel. Remember, the membership channel, what is it? It's a way that I created when I had questions from subscribers that wanted to support Be Something Wonderful in some way. So I created the membership channel. But not only are they supporting it, but you get additional content. There's dozens of videos now on the membership channel. There'll be a new one coming this weekend. Plus, there's 5 live streams with a 6th live stream coming tomorrow. One of the live streams we did on the public channel as the first one. But these live streams now are exclusively for the membership channel. And that's going to be broadcast next Sunday at 9 a.m. in the morning, Pacific Coast Standard Time. I'm going to come to you live right here from the studios here in Las Vegas. I'm going to be answering your questions that you're sending to info@besomethingwonderful.com. That doesn't mean we won't have a live stream on the public channel. We will have those in the future, but right now it's the exclusive content on the membership channel. Also, exclusive videos are on there as well. Check it out. If you've joined us, thank you for joining. If you haven't, there's a link below. You can check it out. Creators, with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude, this is Tom coming to you from the studios of Be Something Wonderful in Las Vegas. Until next time, we'll see you soon.